Biomed Nexus Daily Updates. Your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR AbbVie agreed to acquire AbbVie Therapeutics, APGE, for 10.9B in cash, 135.11 per share, 49% premium, picking up zumilokibart, a long-acting anti-IL-13 antibody for eczema and asthma that could need as few as 2 to 4 injections per year. That compares to every 2 weeks for Sanofi and Regeneron's Dupixent, which generated 14B in 2025 revenue. This is AbbVie's biggest acquisition since the 63B Allergan deal in 2020. The deal brings the number of 2026 biotech deals over 1B to 33s, with the total now just under 134B. AbbVie shares rose 6.9%. Merck's tulisokibart met primary and key secondary endpoints in the Phase 3 Atlas UC study in patients with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis, according to Stock Titan. Bio International Convention is underway in San Diego, June 22nd to 25, with more than 2,000 attendees and 130 sessions across 18 focus areas. Executive takeaway: AbbVie knows immunology better than almost anyone. Humira made the company more than 200B before it went off patent. Skyrizi and Rinvoq are growing faster than Humira is declining. And now, zumilokibart gives AbbVie a shot at the next generation of eczema and asthma treatment with a dosing profile that could reshape how patients think about their disease. The math is simple. Dupixent requires an injection every 2 weeks. That's 26 shots a year. Zumilokibart's Phase 2 data support dosing every 3 to 6 months. That's 2 to 4 shots a year. If the efficacy holds in Phase 3, studies start this year, the convenience advantage is enormous. Guggenheim doubled their peak sales estimate to 5.2B after the Phase 2 data in March. BMO said the deal fits naturally with AbbVie's portfolio. What makes this interesting is the timing. Just 3 weeks ago, AbbVie locked in 1.3B in non-dilutive financing from Blackstone to fund zumilokibart development on its own. 3 weeks later, AbbVie showed up with 10.9B and ended the conversation. Blackstone's investors are having a good morning. Yale's Dr. Christopher Bunick said the deal is going to send shockwaves through the AD community. Biopharma Dive noted, "This is AbbVie's third company buyout since late January and the sector's second largest deal of 2026 behind GSK's 10.6B Nuvalent acquisition." Read, full analysis. Top story, AbbVie acquires AbbVie for 10.9B to challenge Dupixent, AbbVie. AbbVie announced Monday that it will acquire AbbVie Therapeutics for approximately 10.9B in an all-cash tender offer at $135.11 per share, a 49% premium to the June 18th closing price. Both boards unanimously approved the transaction, which is expected to close in Q3 2026. Zumilokibart is an extended half-life anti-IL-13 monoclonal antibody being developed for atopic dermatitis, asthma, and other inflammatory conditions. In Phase 2, approximately 2/3 of patients achieved significant skin clearance at 16 weeks, with concurrent improvement in itch and disease control. The longer-term data support maintenance dosing of either once every 3 months or twice a year. Fierce Biotech reported the deal will give AbbVie control of a late-phase eczema drug candidate that could pose a threat to Eli Lilly, Regeneron, and Sanofi. Cross-trial comparisons suggest zumilokibart can match or improve on the efficacy of Lilly's Ebglyss and Sanofi Regeneron's Dupixent, while dramatically reducing injection frequency. AbbVie's immunology franchise, Skyrizi, Rinvoq, Humira, successor portfolio, gives the company deep commercial infrastructure in dermatology and respiratory medicine. JP Morgan said AbbVie will be able to leverage its historic strength in immunology to push zumilokibart through Phase 3 and commercialization. Clinical Merck's tulisokibart hits Phase 3 in ulcerative colitis. MRK Merck announced that tulisokibart met the primary and key secondary endpoints in the Phase 3 ATLAS-UC induction study in patients with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Tulisokibart is an anti-TL1A antibody, a mechanism that has attracted significant industry interest following Roche's acquisition of Telavant 7.1b for the same target. The positive data give Merck a strong entry into the growing inflammatory bowel disease market and add to the company's pipeline diversification beyond Keytruda. By the numbers, the AbbVie-Apogee deal pushes 2026 M&A further into historic territory. Deals over 1 billion this year, total value just under 134 billion, that's up from the 106 billion CNBC reported 3 weeks ago. The pace shows no sign of slowing with BIO International underway in San Diego and hundreds of partnering meetings happening this week. For context, PwC's mid-year report called the ecosystem back to full health. For buy and said companies are buying stuff like it's going out of fashion. AbbVie proving both right with its third $1 billion-plus acquisition of 2026 after Rapt Therapeutics and 35 Pharma earlier this year. Coming up now through June 25th, BIO International Convention, San Diego. July 1st, Medicare GLP-1 Bridge Program launches, 8 days. July 31st, Section 232 pharma tariffs effective for large companies. Imminent, Revolution Medicines, CNPV NDA filing. Imminent, Lilly Foundayo, T2D filing under CNPV, Read, Full Analysis Biomed, Nexus Pro, Institutional Intelligence Brief. The dosing advantage Dupixent is a great drug. It generated 14 billion in 2025 across eczema, asthma, CRSwNP, and other indications, but it requires injection every 2 weeks, indefinitely. For a chronic disease that often begins in childhood and lasts a lifetime, that adds up to hundreds of injections. Zumilokibart's extended half-life means it stays active in the body much longer. Phase 2 data support quarterly or twice-yearly dosing. If Phase 3 confirms this, the patient experience changes fundamentally. Instead of a bi-weekly routine, patients would visit their physician 2 to 4 times a year. This matters for adherence. Real-world studies consistently show that injection fatigue drives discontinuation rates of 20% to 30% annually for bi-weekly biologics. A drug that maintains the same efficacy with 85% to 90% fewer injections should see meaningfully better persistence, which translates directly to sustained clinical outcomes and recurring revenue. Guggenheim's 5.2 billion peak sales estimate reflects this logic. Dupixent at 14 billion with bi-weekly dosing. Zumilokibart potentially capturing a significant share with superior convenience. Even a 30% to 40% share of the addressable market gets you to 5 billion. Anti-TL1A, the IBD race tulisokibart, joins a crowded but commercially massive space. TL1A is emerging as one of the most important new targets in inflammatory bowel disease. Roche paid 7.1 billion for Telavant's RVT-3101, anti-TL1A, in 2024. Prometheus, now Merck via acquisition, had the first strong Phase 2 data. Now Merck's Phase 3 confirms the mechanism works at the registrational level. The IBD market is projected to exceed $30 billion by 2030. Current biologics, Humira biosimilars, Entyvio, Stelara, Skyrizi, Rinvoq, are effective but leave substantial unmet need, particularly in patients who cycle through multiple therapies. Anti-TL1A offers a new mechanism with potential for broader and deeper response. AbbVie 2026. Deal activity. AbbVie has now executed 3 significant acquisitions in 2026. Deal value area. Rapt Therapeutics. 2.2 Immunology. January. 35 Parma Nitrogen. 50 Oncology. February. Apogee Therapeutics 10.9 Big Zima Asthma. June. Total approximately 14 billion deployed. AbbVie also raised its 2026 outlook. May. Settled Rinvoq patents to 2037 and entered the KRAS space through its 1.45 billion Kestrel option deal. The company is executing across immunology, oncology, and pipeline defense simultaneously. Visit the Pro Hub Read full article. Is your company listed in the Biomed Nexus directory? 2,104 companies across 14 categories. Claim or upgrade your listing. Sponsorship slots for 2026 are limited. See packages and pricing. New Biomed Nexus signals weekly sales intelligence for life sciences BD teams. Learn more